Before we start taking a look at these tokens, I wanted to invite you to use the Stash app, where you can buy fractional portions of any of your top favorite stocks. You get $20, I get $20, and then you can take your referral code and earn up to $1,000 total. That would be about 50 referrals that you are able to accumulate. I am loading up on Tesla stocks for the rest of my life personally, but you can get into any stock that you want: Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft, you name it, whichever one that you love. Check out the link below. Join the team in a way where you don't have to give up any money. You get 20, I get 20. Check out the link below. We're going to start off by taking a look at Bitcoin. We're going to try to keep this type of video today very simple. The majority of what we're going to talk about is the 1 day, 200 day, 200 weekly EMA, which happens to be this purple line here. You're going to see this purple line very often. Maybe I'll change the color like teal or something so it's easier to see on a black screen. But currently on the 1 day chart, we're looking at that current price for Bitcoin is sitting at $59,768.47, depending on the chart that you're looking at. I'm looking at the overall combined cryptocurrency chart, which is what I use for almost every one of these tokens that I take a look at, that we analyze. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to notice is that the price is near 60K. A lot of people have 60K on their bingo cards for where we are going to drop to. So we're going to keep that level in mind. Another indicator we're going to keep our eye on, there's three that we're specifically going to look at today. Disregard all these other bullish and bearish order block indicators. We're going to look at the two lines with the dotted lines around it. The white one, obviously, I talked about it in the last video. Take a look at the last video. I'll put it up in the description above, in the video above in the right corner. But we talked about where the price can go, and we were currently sitting at the current price at the time was, I believe, 57K, and now we have touched 61,000 or 66,600 just about, which is a level that I gave in the video and in the members group. You have to join members to get these exact targets. Yeah, I'll give them out once a week or once every few weeks or so, like in videos like this. But if you want to stay up to date, you want day trading, scalping, and long-term targets, you have to join members group. Memberships in the description below. So we're going to talk about this bearish order blocking on the daily. This is what we were looking at hitting in the group, and it's pretty obvious where this is where it becomes obvious when you put on this indicator. You have to go into indicators up here. Do I have it saved? Order block finder experimental, that's the one you want to find. It shows where the most either bullish or bearish volume is, and at these levels you're going to see shorters starting to come in to push the price back down. And the thicker and wider the levels are, the more volume is there, and the wider the area that it's taking. Obviously with the dotted lines, bottom of the dotted line was 66,100. Top dotted line where weaker volume is 66,900. Just about 67,000. A lot of good traders, our group included, had these levels marked out, which is why we're starting to get slight rejection here. And at the same time, the third indicator we're looking at, keep it simple today, is we're looking at the Fibonacci levels. If we expand it out from the lowest low in this structure, this 180, 190 day structure at 49,000, around 49,000 or so, I could move that down a little bit to be more precise. All right, let's see if I can get it. Okay, 49,000 or so, a little bit under 49,000, all the way up to the all-time high of 73,800-ish on this chart. Then we're saying, oh wow, we hit past the golden pocket. We happen to have some resistance levels, bearish order block levels, but bearish selling, shorters coming in around 66K. And that's why we could have easily said, oh yeah, golden pocket, we can get out somewhere in between 64,300 and 65,100 would have been nice and easy. But we had this order block to show us where's the actual volume at, where's that volume sitting that we want to hit, that can become actual resistance. Now, if we want to start talking about coming back down, keeping to the 1 day purple 200 EMA moving average line, then we're talking about 59,000. What was that again? 59,900, 700, 59,700 or so that we're looking for an immediate level. Now, if we want to take this at its word and say, oh, this is the top, we take the one. Let's make an adjustment. Let's make a slight adjustment. Again, these numbers aren't going to be exact, so keep that in mind. We're going to reverse it because we want to now, because we're looking for a downward level to find as support. We flip it from zero level to 1. On the way down, there's another thing I wanted to take out the 1.382 as well, so we're not confusing ourselves. Okay, now we have the 1 day 200 EMA level sitting at a 38.2% drop, which would be very bullish bounce. Or at the same time, we can break below that and come all the way down to the bottom of this bullish order block level, which could serve as support. We ideally, this solid line is where we want to go, where we want to hit. So that's sitting at 58,350, and even more bullishly, we would want to see a bounce at 59,150 or so. So we can use those as levels of confluence, and we just take a nice little box and we say we want to bounce in this area. Worst case, again, sticking with Fibonacci's, as you know, this is how I analyze where bounce areas are. Obviously, we want to go to 618. Worst case in this, from this level, we want to see a 618 move down, and that would be 55,800 or so, or somewhere in this golden pocket, no lower than 55,200. Absolute worst case, we want to see a 786 move down to 52,800 or so, and then we also mark out that area as well as possible area where we could possibly go. Then we take the indicators that we use and we want to start seeing, so say we start dipping lower, we start actually curling over because the 1 day has been going flat, and it doesn't matter if we have a higher low in the VWAP, the yellow VWAP doesn't break lower, or sorry, VWAP will break lower no matter what, but say blue wave doesn't break lower and we get a bullish bounce, and we want to see something like this, and say we get a bearish divergence there and a bounce somewhere in this zone and another attempt back up, and even if we come up to 69,000 or so to the actual trend line, then we see a breakdown, a continuation breakdown, and then we scoop all the way down again. Then we're going to want to see a significant bounce from these lows, very sharp bounce. And so keep 52,000, 53,000 in mind as to where we go. Nightmare scenario, just to keep in mind, we're going to want to see somewhere, we're going to want to see something like this, you know, bounce there, bounce back up, lower high, and say we break down, bounce there, we hit back on this trend line, and then we go, say we go lower. Worst case scenario, we want to see no lower than 43K. Okay, so you have to keep all these levels in mind. Bullishly, we want to see a bounce from this zone, 59, 60K, back up to 70K, 70K on back down. We are expecting a push down. We don't know where yet. We have to keep our eye on the price, eye on indicators, eye on world events. You know, war in Israel could be a risk-off event, or it could be a risk-on event. U.S. dollar could crash, or could take a further hit. Gold could, you know, during times of war, gold, silver drive up. Can Bitcoin follow gold's lead, or will it follow the stock market's lead? People get scared. They take their money out. They hold it. They hodl it during times of war. Let's see what Bitcoin and crypto wants to do. Worst case, we get a bounce, or we get a drop down to 43K, and then say there's a ceasefire and then on the war, if that is the the black swan event, and then we start continuing up into end of the year, next year, into new all-time highs. My thesis right now is we don't want to go into new all-time highs before November 15th, according to cycle theory. Okay, we want to see new all-time highs after November 15th, so we can continue up and continue the bull market all the way up until my estimated retirement time of September, mid-September 2025. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin analysis there. Okay, total 2 is the total 2 market. I'm going to keep this one quick. We're not even going to go into market cipher with this one. Again, if you've watched my videos in the past, this is what I did for Doge, and maybe I'll do a Doge video in the future, which I think I promised that last video. All right, so I need to do a Doge video. Okay, I did the same thing for Doge, how I estimated going from 5 cents all the way up to 78 cents, which is exactly what we ended up doing. Or I said somewhere between 74 and 82 cents. We ended up going to 78 cents, pretty much right in between. I took the last bull market run that we had on the if we're talking about Doge, but we're talking about the crypto market in total, minus excluding Bitcoin. As you can see up there, we moved up from this level here. We marked that off as 1. We marked the absolute bottom off as 0, and then we marked off how high did we go on the first move. Every token either did a double pump and went higher, or some went, made a lower high. So we're just taking this March, or was that May 2021 as the all-time high. Most tokens topped out there, the total market, and so we said somewhere around, it's going to be somewhere around 3.0. Let's fix that. Let's just say 3. Let's just say 3.0. Let's just say, let's try to get precise. It doesn't matter. It's going to be somewhere between 3 and 3.618. All right, we're going to just say 3.236. Then I superimpose that over to the current levels. The low for was at 2023, compared to the high of, was at the high of 2021 as the top. And then I was able to mark out that the total market cap would end up being 4 times, pretty much 4 times where we're at now. The total market cap's near $1 trillion, and if you look at somewhere between 3.382, we're looking at somewhere between $4 and $4.5 trillion market cap, just for altcoins. So we have a lot of pumpage to do, and to keep it shorter, we broke past, on the 1 day, we broke past the 200-day. Now we're going to expect that to be one level of support. Okay, ideally we're going to go into this zone here. We're trying to break this trend line here. Yeah, you can mark it how you want. You can say we've already broken the trend line pretty much. We want to test a little bit higher and then pull back. Worst case scenario, we want to see an overall crypto market pullback. Even if we, it doesn't matter where we go, we want to be able to stop somewhere right there. Let's say we topped out here, and this is how I mark out where we're going next. Let's say we top out there at 1.1 trillion before we make our little dip. My estimation next week, then we're talking about, let's see, we're talking about coming down to, nope, we just want to flip it doesn't matter, you don't have to flip it, you don't have to flip the you don't have to flip the Fibonacci, but you will want to add the 236 to mimic it being the same as the 786 marker. So if you don't flip it, a lot of people don't flip it, then ideally we don't want to go any lower than $831 billion total market cap before we then, whether it's mid-October, late October, we start making our march into new all-time highs over the next, we should hit new all-time highs sometime for the whole market, sometime between March and May. Again, So keep that area of interest in mind. Everything in between then is going to be choppy. Just keep buying the dips. All right. That's it for total 2 market cap. Ethereum pretty much follows the same track. Ethereum is the king of, currently the king of altcoins, and right now it looks like on the 1 day we're just looking for the 200-day EMA, which if we get the exact price is somewhere around $2,868. So ultimately we want to see it continue push up over the next few days. If this is on the daily, we want to see a nice move up. If we're looking at market cipher, we got a green dot. We have a trend change going on here from purple to pink. We want to see RSI is obviously topped out, but RSI doesn't matter right now. We have money flow moving up as well. We got that moving up into the green. We want to see the momentum wave. We want to see it hit somewhere in the 90s to 100, somewhere like right around here. We want to see some real movement going on there, because ultimately, yeah, we want to hit the 1 day. We might pull back, we might flag, we might have some flag action under it, but ultimately compared to the old all-time high, it was 4,000, the old all-time high in 2020, March 2024, really? That's not right. Where's the old all-time high? Okay, old all-time high. Okay, anyways, local high. We're gonna just stick with the local high. Go back to the 1 day. All right, we just want to see a touch of, ultimately we want to see a very bullish touch at 3,100. All right, we're gonna mark that one off as well before we see any kind of significant pullback. So what that's telling me, just looking at Bitcoin, the total altcoin market cap in Ethereum is the king and the front runner for all altcoins. We want to see a move up to somewhere between 20. We want to see 2,800 hit for sure before we hit this 1 day 200 EMA level. But we also want to see very bullish movement to the 618 and possibly even the 786 before we see a pullback. And if that happens, we'll probably see Bitcoin move up to 70,000 before we pull back in. You know, even if it's 73,000, it's still a lower high from the all-time high, and then we end up seeing a pullback. So that's the zone we want to see on Ethereum. Okay, moving averages are all converging on the way up. We want to see that 21 day over the next few days end up hitting, touching, tapping that purple 200 EMA to show very, very bullish 21 EMA to 200 EMA crossover. Okay, now we're gonna give you Solana. We're gonna give you the basic top rated tokens first for this analysis. One thing I noticed that what we have going on here, I'm gonna give you just a quick idea of what I am seeing very similar to the draw out I had from last time. And here we go, where my graphics card isn't keeping up, right? So we're going to try to get this through, make this quick, because it's basically telling me we have to wrap this up. 3, where is it? I think I'm off 1. No, I'm right. Okay, 3. This isn't Elliott wave or anything. It's just the count, just so you see how similar it looks, right? No, I still don't like that. That's not it. 1 down here, 2 down here, this little 3. Oh my goodness. This little 3 right here. So what I'm saying is there's an accumulation going on. We got the little accumulation, and then that's 4. Sorry, 3's right there. And we 4. I have it being right there. Same type of accumulation going on. So sorry, let me make, my goodness, I'm sorry. Let's back it up. 1, 2. I think we're at number 2 right now before the rest of the year we run off for the next 6-7 months into new all-time highs. I have Solana going to at least $700, right? Right now, it's battling with a little descended triangle. If we're at number 2, we can come back down here, retest this little area. If we need to mark this off as the bottom. So yeah, we do need to do an update on this. Marking that off as the bottom. We got the top there. First, we want to see a touch of the top. So we're sitting in this bearish, giant bearish order block zone. This is on the weekly. Sorry, we're gonna have to jump back to the daily, but on the weekly, it's a good view to see. We're dealing with a lot of heavy volume, which is why it's been having trouble since here, getting above and holding above this level. If we're at a rejection point for this level, which happens to be the 50% Fibonacci level at 150 to 160 was the price given out on members when the price was at, I believe, $132. Okay, so you had some gains to make there. We called it was like 138. So you had about 17% with no leverage to gain if you were in the group and watching for these levels given out for free for the paid members. Right now, we want to take a look. If you got it at the bottom, if we're just trying to go to the 618, we're talking about the 171 mark. If we continue bullish, right now we're dealing with order block, big short order resistance sitting right between 160 and 176. We want to see a move up to the 618, show healthy sign of continuation. And again, we always look for bullish continuation between the 618 and the 786. 786 would show very bullish continuation. Ultimately, we want to make a higher high somewhere around 194. Once we start making a higher high around 194, then now we can start talking about higher prices. We're talking about $200, $240, $246, and much higher than that. And then we start to threaten old all-time highs right there. So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to keep it very simple with Solana. Now we have 2 Solana tokens. Ponke, I talked about Ponke a few months ago, and it looks like it's done nothing but go up. And now I think we're creating basically a whole nother, this is exactly what I wanted to do. It's basically creating a whole nother fractal, if I can figure it out. Yeah. We're basically creating a whole nother fractal for what has already happened in the past. Very high level meme token with very high level memes. Very high level memes of its own. Okay, so we're saying this is the same level. Okay, pull that back. We were saying this level here. Now I just want to extend it. Why won't it let me extend it? Okay. Now this is what we're talking about. The levels we can go to. We can mark out. Very bottom, we're going to say this is the 1.0. Now we add in, let's say I'm going to take a guess, 1.0, we're going to say 4, probably no. 3. Let's say, yeah, it looks good. 3272, copy, paste. Bottom here. Top there. All right, these are bull market estimates. Now we're talking $1.88 on Ponke from what we're currently at. We're currently at 34 cents. So I've been talking about Ponke in the group for a little bit. Going to the 1 day, bring back the indicators. Get rid of all this. what have we done so far overall from the top to the bottom? We've barely hit the 30% mark or so, and it seems that we're topping out multiple times, but money flow is coming up. So if we zoom in, we can see the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour money flow is coming down as well. So we are, for if anybody is waiting for a bounce, you could look for the 200 day at 31 cents, but we're also waiting for a confirmed green dot to come in for a continuation bounce on that. If we're taking the lower levels, if we're looking at the lower time frames, if it'll let me, okay, if we're looking at lower time frames, we're gonna bring it down from the all-time high. We're gonna just go to the next level where we see obvious, where we had an obvious resistance level. We pretty much hit the 786 almost at 38 cents, and now we are pulling back. We use that top, let's see, we use that top as the top, and we run back down. Worst case, we always want to have worst case marked out. We go back 78.6%, 78.4. We're talking about 24-25 cents. It's a meme coin, but it's been a very strong, very high performing meme coin, but we have to take everything in consideration, all-time high to all-time low, or even just the next higher high. We'll go the bull flag. We'll go just off of this level. We're talking a little bit lower, just back to an even level at 20, just around 21 cents. Worst case, when we get a Bitcoin pullback, then we're looking for 21 cents. Worst case. All right, keep Ponke on your radar. Mother is a new one. I have done zero technical analysis on this. It's very new, barely has any data. Well, it has a day's worth of data. Again, this is on the crypto overall market. This is Iggy Azalea's token on Solana, performing very well after it had a nice blow off. How much was that? How much did we lose off of it? Goodness. Let's reverse it. Go from 0 to 1 if we're looking for bounce areas, 1 to 0 if we're looking to continue up, right? So we're looking at somewhere around like 90% off, right? And we bottomed out. We pretty much bottomed out in July. Okay, we're using that bottom as the next bottom. All-time high is the top. So far we've accumulated for probably, what is that? Let me guess, 3 months. Okay, once we hit the bottom, we broke out from this level here. We made a higher low, touched back down. We're currently touching back down on the daily, retesting this level. I would imagine wicks are very weak for retesting levels. It does happen to be golden pocket on the way up, which, let's say we're going on the way back up, so we reverse it. So now we go from 0 to 1 from the bottom, hit the reverse, and now we were aiming for the 618. We didn't quite hit the 618. So what that tells me is that we could come back a hair. If this is the top, our pullback zone, anyways, we don't have to flip it. We're not going to flip it. So we got a red dot on the daily, while we showed weakness before the 618. Then that shows that we don't have a lot of volume. We don't have enough volume coming back in to make this to take another. Well, it's telling us not to hold this price. It's not to hold these tokens at this level. You want to get out here, and then you want to let it run down, and you want to wait for support. We don't have a 200-day EMA on the daily, so we're gonna go to 12 hour, and there's one right there. We could say 6 cents on Iggy Azalea's token. Yes, we are currently sitting on a 38.2 bounce at these levels at 10.2 cents. If the market continues up, we could see a continuation, because the money flow on the 12 hour hasn't started curving down yet. It's still going flat. So what this tells you, when you have a thick money flow, it tells you that bounces come early. That means we won't see lower lows. You won't see a drive down in price if money flow is still there, if support is still there. And from what I could tell you, from what I can estimate, we should have bounce prices somewhere exactly right at the order block. The bullish order block is sitting right, the top of the bullish order block is sitting right there at 6.5 cents. So worst case, if we come all the way down, that's where we're looking for. Ideally, again, coming down from, we'll flip it this time, going down from 0 to 1, since we're looking for a bounce area. Then this golden pocket is the zone that we want to see a bounce for. Then this just becomes worst case scenario floor at 6.5 cents. So we want to see somewhere between ultimately we want to see somewhere between 618 and 786. We don't want to see any lower than 5 cents. And if you're a true believer in this token, you can see here we got to move up back in late July, late July, and then early August we got to bounce down. That was 100% discount from this move up on the way down. Then yeah, you'll want to buy somewhere around 2.6 to 3. We'll see 2.6 to 4 cents. But ultimately, we're waiting on the green box, and we're gonna try to leave that there for the future to see if we can get a nice order. Actually, I will set an alert at 7.4 cents to see if we get a bounce in that area. Last token I'm gonna give is Link, and then I'm gonna give Tesla. Currently with the group, this is a free one I give to the group all the time in open chat. If I haven't done it in a while, let me know. I believe I have recently. But we're currently at $12.92 with, obviously, here's the target zone between $12.85, which we've already hit, and $13.87. The target, this is on the 4 hour, the target is on the 1 day. We've already broken through the bearish order block. So now the immediate target is the top of the golden pocket zone at $13, and looks like $13.05. I wrote $13.10 in the group. Very, very bullishly, we want to see $13.87 or somewhere within this golden pocket to overextension 786 area for Link. The market cipher indicators are showing flat on the daily. That could mean a lot of volume can pump in, and we could see, let's reset this, we can see even higher prices. Again, this is just low time frame estimates. If we want to talk about the next level up at $19.12, we want to see a move up to the 618 at $15.28. If we move up to the weekly, I believe, okay, yeah, we have a weekly lower side order block at $16.77. That would be nice to see from there. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that for cryptocurrency and tokens. Tesla, I've been giving this one out. Again, at the beginning of the video, I showed I advise everyone to jump into Stash, where you can buy fractional shares of any of the top of the major stocks in the stock market. I'm a big Tesla guy. I believe in their future vision for the next 10, 15, 20 years of where they're going. Everything from here on Earth to outer space and Mars. Their plan is much bigger than just cars. So $300 price for me, even down to 200, 100. If we have a market crash, I'm buying up all the time, every time. And if you sign up for Stash, you get $20. I get $20. We can immediately go and buy a part of a share. Okay, all you have to do is sign up. You don't even have to buy anything yet. Okay, but I mentioned the Tesla stock in the group. We'll keep this simple. Right around here on this retest, sorry, it was right around $220 something after we got pretty much a double retest. We retested this level of support here, and we retested this trend line level here, and ultimately we want to hit somewhere between the 618. You know, the analysis is all the same: stocks, cryptocurrency, indexes, it doesn't matter. We want to hit somewhere between $296 and $348. Okay, and I'm bullish on Tesla long term. Even if we break down and come back here, I'm still buying at the lows. All right, if you want access to any of these other tokens, TRB I'm really big on. Pepe I've been giving plenty of analysis on for a long time. Sundog I'm big on. You want any further analysis on these tokens, got to join the members group. Some of those have much higher gains to be had than the Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Trio. So come join the group and take a look at joining our members group for access to all of our premium, prime, up-to-date, daily, on the hour information. All right, thanks for watching, and that'll be it. Thank you. We have a new item in our shop that you would love, that you'll possibly use every day. Open up your mornings with crypto and coffee and Black Lion Kings. We now have a new coffee mug, only $8 shipping. Go and support Black Lion Kings, your favorite Discord group, your favorite crypto Discord group. And we also have other items to show your support as well. Go and get it. The link is in the description below.